Guys, you're welcome to my channel today. So let's talk about nebulas. Now, even as there's a transition in the way information is being relayed to people, from when computers were created, you saw the evolution of computers from the 5th generation computers to the 4th generation, and even now we have smartphones that can do what computers can actually do to a certain level. Then you have the internet, of how an experiment was actually conducted, and then the experiment resulted in computers being able to communicate to one another, which is the ARPANET, of which it was released to the public, wanted to be conceived before, to release to the public, and then now you are having a blockchain. So when you look at the blockchain, there are certain stuffs you want to really pay attention to, in the sense that the blockchain similarity with the internet. Now, why the blockchain is going to increase very, very soon is in the sense that the blockchain is leveraging on the power of the internet. Now, when the internet came, it took some evolution. You had email, from then email could support video and the rest of them, and then you now have the social media. Then you now have the YouTube and the rest of them, where information cannot be exchanged, just like you were listening to me and the rest of them. So what nebulas is actually bringing is, like, why I was telling you how information has evolved so far. When Google was created in the 90s, Google saw the uprising of the internet and then web pages. So it was actually a PhD project by two guys. So they said that it's very, very good that we're bringing a kind of system where, just like the library, let's bring an online library where if anybody is searching any kind of information, he can actually be able to see the information. Now, you might be asking, okay, what is a library? A library is basically a collection of books put in one place. So you can say, well, just that is simple definition. You want to say, well, distributed library and the rest of them. So what Google did is, okay, there are people who have different websites in China making something on fashion. Another person is making something relating to sports. Another person is making something relating to health and the rest of them. Why not bring in all this together? Why not bring in something and we connect all this stuff together? That we'll create a platform, and this platform will enable anyone who come on our platform to be able to search for a wide array of data. And that was why Google was created. So you have the Google created a system where they have something they call the Google's spider crawler. That's actually what Google does is Google indenses all these pages together, put them together, and then you have this the crawler that whenever someone search for something like distributed search framework, as you can see here, what Google does is the crawler goes to different indices where you can actually see any of this one decentralized search in framework. So that is why when you search for something like this, decentralized search framework. So what basically happens is it goes through kind of all the websites that are connected to the internet, that are connected to the Google network, and then it searches them. It's okay, you can find it here, you can find it here, you can find it, you can find something relating and the rest of them. Okay, then I bring it. As well, you can see all these results. So what is nebulas seeking to do? So nebulas is saying, okay, we're having the blockchain now, and much data is being put out there. Why not bring in a system where if someone wants to search for something, he can actually see something? So Google has designed, nebulas has designed something that is similar to Google. One of the first things to do with is the nebulas rank, and this nebulas rank is very similar to Google page rank. So you might say, okay, how does Google actually rank pages? There are certain parameters that nebulas actually that Google actually ranks pages. So see, if you want to explore how nebulas rank pages, there are three dimensions. One of the first thing has to do with the issue of liquidity. So you're having transaction in the system. Well, we want to check how often are people when you want to check the frequency and then the scale of transactions, that is the liquidity. Now, then we're talking about the propagation. That has to do with the scope and the depth of asset liquidity. Then talking about interoperability. So when you are searching for stocks, though the blockchain has been evolving and the rest of them, you've been saying things like how will I put it? You've been saying a lot of files being uploaded and the rest of them, but we've not really come up with something to say, okay, in what way is the blockchain different from this, maybe the web and the rest of them. We've not been able to really differentiate to see past, okay, this is, though there are other browsers, but most of these applications on the blockchain are mostly for transactional purposes or whatsoever. It has to go beyond transactional purposes. It has to go to maybe information purposes, just like the internet. That is what Elatos is actually trying to do, and it's a very, very massive project. Then there's another thing again that the nebulas makes nebulas very, very good. It's what they call the proof of devotion. So rather than use the proof of stake, nebulas uses what they call the proof of devotion. And then there's another unique thing about the platform is the developer incentive protocol. So the people who are actually developing decentralized applications, Nebulas has within a framework that gives them a certain form of incentive when people use these applications. It's something that is going to be very, very, very good in the future. So, and you can see the open source Nebulas project. You can see all this there. And you can see them, their roadmap. You can follow them up, their partners, and the other stuff. So what Nebulas is seeking to do, is a project that I actually like a lot. Now, when we are looking at Nebulas, you have to understand Nebulas to be a blockchain in itself. And Nebulas is a platform to which you can even create smart contracts on your own. So it's not just a kind of search framework, no, there's no end there. It's a platform you can also create your own tokens, just like Ethereum and the rest of it, but it has special features. So I want to look into Nebulas. It's something that is going to, some people call it the Google of blockchain. It has very, very huge potential in the space, and it has a lot of space to grow. So guys, you can do your own research on this platform. This is not a kind of financial advice on whether you should invest in Google Nebulas or not. Do have a very, very good day, guys.